What's up, everybody? So I'm doing another Hunter x Hunter review, this time just chapter by chapter. As you know, I finished up with the volume releases, so now I just got whatever's left out there before I join you in the wonderful world of hiatus. And trust me, I am a Berserk fan, so I understand that world pretty well. And you know, I'm kind of comfortable in there. It's kind of just, I just fit in there pretty well. I just like the pain. I'm a masochist. So, chapter, what are we at? 381. Okay, again, a lot of information given in this chapter, but thankfully I'm just doing it by chapter, so there's not a ton I have to remember. But there was some things that I definitely forgot about that got brought back up in this chapter, and I was like, wait, what a second, what is going on here? And I think I was able to figure it out. I think the first thing is Fugetsu, the prince that can go through. Her Nen beast is basically not even a beast. It's just a doorway, like a passageway where she can go from wherever point A to point B. And we find out in this chapter that after she goes through the door and she makes it all the way through to the other end, then the return doors appears, but her twin sister, Kacho, I believe, is the other prince. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to look it up right now, but I'm trying to remember all their names off the top of my head, alright? I'm getting there. So Kacho has to open the return door. So it's in a way it's like their Nen beasts are linked, and I'm wondering if Kacho's Nen beast is kind of, I wonder if they like basically share a Nen beast or something like that, because they are so close to each other and they want to keep each other safe and they want to, you know, survive the succession war together. And they definitely have a closeness, and they've always grown up, you know, playing together as kids, and that's what their Nen beast is actually based on, which I thought was pretty cool as well. It's based on the game they used to play where a doorway would take them somewhere new and exciting and different, and then the return doorway, you know, would act the same way. And so I guess Fugetsu creates the doorway to get somewhere, which is how she wound up on the third level of the ship, when she's supposed to be up on the top with all the, you know, the 1%, if you will. And I guess she couldn't get back because she has to have Kacho open the return door. I think that's how it works, at least I think that's how it was described. I'm sure some of you will correct me if I'm wrong, and please do, because I'd like a good understanding of everything that's happening. And I kind of just go through, I read through it, and I try to retain the knowledge. I might reread it, you know, a second time or something. But there's going to be tons of things I missed, because this is Hunter x Hunter after all. And it's really, it's more like reading, it's almost like reading a novel as opposed to reading a manga, because there's just so much information and dialogue and just explanation, not even dialogue, just narration to go through. But this arc has been growing on me, and it is setting up so much. There's so much room for disaster here, and I think that's what's really cool about it, is this, just that there's just 1 inch away in all directions that so much could go wrong, and it kind of builds on that anxiety and that anticipation, is that you're just waiting for something to go wrong, and there's so much that can. So Fugetsu is again on the 3rd level, and I guess they're kind of working to get her back to where she needs to go. But her sister, whose bodyguard is Melody, and of course Melody is the Nen user that can do things through music, and she can also kind of hear your heartbeat and tell your emotions and whatnot. And she's got this other bodyguard that's working with her, and she's sensing his heartbeat, and everything seems okay, but she feels as though he might be being manipulated in some way. And of course we know a couple of different of the princes that can use sort of manipulation at this point in time. There is of course Sal, who I'll get to in a moment, and there was also the other prince, the one Hollenbeck. Fuck, I can't remember his name. The one that doesn't want the succession war to happen. The one that's been trying to stop it. That's been talking to wants to talk to his father. Wants to talk to the king. Halkenberg, I think is his name. He's the one that can, you know, create the feather on somebody's hand, the mark, where basically, like, if they're all together and whatnot, it increases his aura, or increases the aura of all of them. Basically, you know, makes them extremely powerful. And so there's a couple of different ways that manipulation has been being used through these princes, so that's one to definitely look out for. Melody is being asked by the prince that she is protecting to play her flute at the big banquet coming up. And one thing about this chapter is it definitely reminds you, hey, the banquet's coming up. And this is where probably the shit will hit the fan, everything will go haywire at this banquet. And she wants Melody to play her flute there. Now, Melody with music, I'm assuming, has some sort of, if not manipulation abilities, something she can do with that where she could either, I don't know, if she's going to be sending messages out, if she's going to be, pulling a Jigglypuff and putting everybody to sleep so that, Kacho and Fugetsu, the two sisters, can escape in some way, can get out of this. Basically, they want to get out of this together. And Melody wants to help her out. I mean, she definitely wants to keep her alive and keep, her away from all this danger and whatnot. But what Melody is actually going to be willing to do at the banquet with playing the flute, I'm not really sure, because one, we don't really know the full extent of her Nen abilities, of what she can do. And also, Melody is a very, by nature, an empathic character, an empathic character. I mean, hearing somebody's heartbeat, that's empath right there. I mean, essentially, that's what it is. You're feeling someone's emotions, feeling their true self, feeling, their energy back and forth. And so, is Melody going to want to do something malicious to people at the banquet? I don't think that she would, but she also really wants to protect the prince that she's bodyguarding. So I wonder, and Melody seems nervous about this. She seems nervous about what she's being asked to do at the banquet, even though we don't really know what that is yet. And so I'm wondering if there's going to be more of like a moral conflict with her and what she's actually willing to do. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll see what this banquet is all about. And I'm really, really curious to get to it, because we've been hearing about the banquet for a while. I don't even know if we'll get to it in the remaining chapters. I got like 9 chapters left. I don't even know. I don't know, which I guess is good, because I've avoided spoilers up until this point, but, we'll see what goes there. Now, the next thing that happens in this chapter happens with Prince Sally. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he has the Nen Beast that looks like freaking coughing from Pokemon. Just 2 Pokemon references in this review, you're welcome. Where the smoke goes out around the people that are around him, and it has like a radius that it can do. It's very specific, but essentially the smoke reaches out a particular radius and kind of convince people to be on Sal's side. I think he's a really good guy. I think he's really cool. And I like that the one bodyguard that's there is like, you know what? This guy's actually not too bad. I wasn't sure about him at first, but, he's a really good guy. I really like how he just was like being won over just by standing there. It's like, he's banging all these bitches back here, but I think he's pretty cool. I don't know. Anyways, that guy's clearly being manipulated. The other guy is working for Benjamin, and Benjamin's doing work, man. Like, remember, he already has Prince Camellia, the one that can resurrect herself, whatever. He's got her in a jail cell right now, basically, so she's taken out of the way. And now he's sending his other guards to guard other princes and basically take them out. And this guy's ability, I completely forgot about this. I 100% forgot, so when this happened, I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But essentially, he has an ability called the Predator. Pretty cool. Not, the Predator. Dylan, get to the chopper. Not that, unfortunately. But Predator basically is a Nen, sort of like a Nen beast that he creates. The more he knows about someone's ability, the Predator is designed to take that ability down. So he's basically been standing here trying to understand what the Nen Beast does, how the range of the smoke, how many hours it takes to manipulate somebody. Basically, he's just been calculating all this in his head as to exactly how this Nen ability works. And then as soon as he figures it out, he's like, okay, I'm going to release the Predator, which is basically just looks like a Nen Beast. Obviously, it's different. It's just his Nen ability. I guess it would be, what would it be? Conjuration? I'm not sure. Put that down below. What's his Nen type? So he creates this thing, and it just looks like a lizard of some sort, and it eats the Nen Beast. It just jumps in the air and just swallows it. Basically, swallows the little thing that's over the other bodyguard's head that's making him think Sal is such a great guy. Swallows that, and it seems like that's that. I was expecting something else to happen, or for it to not work in some way, but it seems to have worked. And so he sends a communication. He's like, Benjamin, Sal's Nen Beast has been defeated, destroyed, killed, swallowed. Okay, so now if that's true, if Sal's this is Hunter x Hunter, so I'm assuming it's not true. I'm assuming Sal has some sort of, stipulation or something where his Nen Beast can defeat this attack of some sort. Maybe he won't, but that's just what I've come to expect with this series. So he says, Benjamin, this guy's done. So we could kill him at any time. He's got no beast protecting him, and he can't use Nen on his own. So he's basically a sitting duck at this point. So we'll see what happens with that. And then it ends with another one of his bodyguards. I forget his name. Like I said, there's a lot of characters, guys. I'm really bad with names to begin with. And then we're talking like Hunter manga, like Japanese names, and we're talking like 50 characters. So please forgive me that I don't remember all the names offhand. I probably should have wrote it down, but I didn't. And he's been around for a while, and he's in this training session with Kurapika, and they're not, they don't know who can use Nen and who can't, basically. It's kind of a mystery because there's still that silent majority technique that's out there that can send the snakes on people, so we're still trying to figure out who that is. And apparently it's not this guy. This guy has a different ability where he can send out basically like a needle to somebody and can kill them, I guess, is kind of what I gathered from this. He's able to kill them from afar as long as they are in a certain radius. And if they notice the needle, they can take it off. But if they don't notice it, I guess he can kill them, I'm assuming at any point in time. So he said that he put one on Fugetsu. So she could have died, but she used her teleportation door. Now she's on level 3 of the ship, so she's out of his range, so she's safe. But if she comes back up to the first level, then she's going to be a goner as well. So, who do we got? We got one prince that's dead already. Then Camilla's locked up. If Sao's a sitting duck, he's out. If Fugetsu comes back to the top, she's out, though I don't really think she will be. So we have at least 3 characters that are potentially out already. So that would leave 10 left, and one's the baby that Kurapika's protecting. And so it is sort of getting to a point where it's going to be dwindling down, I feel like. I feel like by the time the banquet hits, we'll probably have another death, maybe 2 of the princes, and then, like I said, the shit's going to hit the fan there. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as the release of these videos, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just read and review as I go along. I might film like 2-3 a day, and I'll just space out the video releases like every 3-4 days or something like that. So expect at least 1 a week, probably 2, until I finish it, which won't be long. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you want. I appreciate the support on these Hunter x Hunter vids because, man, I really do love this series, and it's really cool to have other people to talk to about it, especially about all this crazy shit that's happening right now in the Succession War, because it's a little overwhelming, and you guys really do help me kind of put the pieces together or correct the things that I get wrong. So I have a much better understanding because of my viewers. So thank you very much. Give this video a thumbs up if you want, subscribe if you want to. I'll talk to you in the next review.